So one of the things that can make communication difficult is that no one really teaches you how to do it, especially the really, really basic everyday stuff. So I know for me, I was asking people, how does this work? What am I supposed to do? And unfortunately, most people who are really good at communication do it kind of unconsciously, which means they couldn't explain to me how I was supposed to copy them. And to make matters worse, the better someone is at communication, the more likely they are to break the rules because they know how the rules work and they know when they're allowed to be broken. So today I thought I would share a little structure that I've come up with about 3 steps of communication. And the purpose is to just have a really, really simple framework. And so if you follow these steps, you can't go too far wrong. And if you miss them out, then you might you might come into some misunderstandings. I find that if I miss a step, at best I'm likely going to have to repeat myself, and at worst it could cause a serious misunderstanding that makes further communication difficult. So they're probably going to sound like pretty straightforward common sense, but I'll be working through some examples where it's easy to accidentally miss some steps. Okay, so the first step is to make a connection, and that means saying hello, getting someone's attention, making sure that they're listening to you and they're going to actually hear what you have to say next. Second step is to give the person a little bit of background as to why you're saying what you're about to say. And then finally, actually say what you wanted to say. Okay, so quick example. Imagine I go up to a stranger in the street and I say, "Hi, excuse me, I'm actually new to this area and I'm looking for someone who I can ask some advice about some things. Do you live around here?" So that's pretty straightforward, right? I made a connection by saying hello. Background is I'm new around here and I'm looking for some advice. That's the reason I'm talking to you. And my question is, do you live around here? So what would have happened if I jumped straight to asking a stranger in the street, do you live around here? They would be thinking, are you talking to me? Who are you? What do you want? Why are you asking me this question, right? So if we skip these 2 steps, it can be really abrupt, demanding, and just plain rude in a lot of situations. So you might be thinking this is pretty straightforward, and who in their right mind is going to go up and ask a demanding question of a stranger in the street without even saying hello, right? But I can tell you I've observed this a lot. Part of my job is running camps for teenagers on the spectrum, and I see this a lot, especially in teenagers. And what it looks like is walking up to someone or a group, especially a group of people, and just talking without first establishing the connection or saying why you're about to say what you're about to say. So the most stereotypical example I can think of, imagine teenage boy comes home after school, trudges into the kitchen, "I'm hungry," right? Now, a caring, understanding mother would understand what that means and be able to say, "Oh, okay, is there something you want to eat in before dinner maybe," or something like that. But that's someone else compensating for a lack of good communication, right? Imagine the same situation, except it was more like, "Hey mum, yes dear, I'm a bit hungry. Is there anything I can eat before dinner?" Right? Same thing, only connection, why I'm saying it, and then the question, is there something I can eat before dinner? Okay, so why do we do this, right? How can we forget these 2 things? And my theory is that when I forget these things, what's happening is I'm stuck in my head, completely consumed by my own experience, and what I forget is that everyone else is likely stuck in their own head, also consumed by their own experience. So I'm in the perfect place, I'm paying attention, I know what I'm saying, and so I jump straight to this one. But for other people, it's confusing because they are not paying attention to me. They were thinking about something else and they don't know why I'm talking to them. And then they're just hit with this question or this information that doesn't really make sense because they don't know where it came from. So an example from me recently is I share a bathroom with my housemates, and sometimes in the morning I'm about to jump in the shower and I hear something in the kitchen, so I open the door and say, "Do you need the bathroom in the next 10 minutes?" And then inevitably the answer is, "Sorry, what? Huh?" Like, Oops, what I meant to say was, good morning, I'm about to jump in the shower. Do you need the bathroom in the next 10 minutes? So it's really, really easy to forget this when I'm stuck in my own head going a million miles an hour and I forget that other people aren't with me in that. So I need to build a connection first. And when you think about it, speaking before building the connection is about as clever as dialing a number in the phone and then starting to speak before the other person actually picks up. I mean, the other person needs to be listening if they're going to hear what we have to say. Anyway, so this is my 3-step structure for communication, and I found it really helps me to remember to consider what's going on for the person that I'm about to speak to before I just speak to them. So hopefully you found that useful. Please remember that I don't know what you think unless you actually tell me. So please leave me some feedback or a comment or something, and I will hopefully see you soon. Thanks. Bye.